Are you ready to be attacked?
I'm so attacked.
Let's go through attachment styles.
Okay. In childhood, people who were dismissive, avoidant often had some of their needs met while the rest were neglected. For instance, the child may have gotten fed regularly but was not held enough. There is my attack. Here is my attack. Or there was a lot of attention on scholastic achievement but not on emotional security.
Oh, yo.
Bye.
Hi, parents.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
And then transactional, which means if you do this for me, I'll give you a sexual favor.
I'd probably just do that anyway.
That does it for fun.
I'd be like, you know what?
You want your dick sucked?
Do you know what?
I got you, baby.
I do it. I do it. If you're going to drive me to work, I'll do it at the same time.
A real one.
So, I have actually done that.
Yeah.
You'll take the love bombing because you're like, cool, great.
That's a fucking red flag to me. Someone who's too into me too quickly, that's a red flag. Because
it is.
I was like, that says to me that you're not holding me to your standards based on my behavior, because you haven't even seen enough of my behavior to say that I'm.
No, it's true. And like, also, we know who we are.
Yeah.
But that person doesn't know you at all.
Like, do you know?
Yeah.
I know me. Do you know me?
Yeah.
And I think also don't beat yourself up for not knowing then what you do know now.
Yeah.
It's a learning process, and we even though we know what we will and won't accept, we still go back on men that we shouldn't give another chance. Hi, Lil Sutton.
La Lil Sutton.
Welcome to. Ooh.
Whose pussy is this? Okay, well, here we are. We're back.
Hi.
Cycle 2.
Cycle 2. I know we kind of just didn't expect to end the season. We kind of just we weren't feeling it for a bit, and we just wanted to have a break.
We definitely needed some time out to reflect, and also we smashed out 12 episodes in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Back to back to back to back to back. Like, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and we just had a lot of shit going on. Like, you went away, then I went away, and then you
I
moved in.
No, I moved in, you went away. Left me here alone.
I literally left Fiji the day that she moved in.
The day I moved in, yeah.
That's how we do.
But it was fine. I got acquainted. I mean, it's not like I didn't already live here anyway.
Yeah.
But now we're officially official.
I know.
And that's our anniversary. Today? Tomorrow?
Tuesday. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so point is, we're back.
And better.
We've
got Wiz Khalifa hanging out. This is the pot plant here.
Yeah.
We've got a new little setup.
Yeah, I think we just basically wanted to refresh because we want to give you guys content that's just more educational, which we already have been, but we just want to elevate a little bit.
We wanted it to be a lot more about the real quality than quantity. So with the last 12 episodes, we did a lot, and we definitely feel like we educated a lot of you in ways.
Yeah.
But this time we kind of want to make sure that everything that we're doing is really from us in our way.
And we're also doing a lot of more self-work instead of research and consuming content for us, so that we can kind of take other people's insights, rework it, and put it in a way that
and do it
suits
our way.
us.
Yeah.
Because obviously we want to grow with you, and we can only do that by taking in more.
Yeah, I mean, our first season was all about finding our feet and, having a few little bumps in the road. I mean, how many days did we spend? We would record and edit and post all in one day.
Yeah.
And now that isn't going to happen.
No, we hope not.
It's too draining.
It's really draining, and it kind of started to feel like work, and that's the last thing we want this to ever feel like.
Yeah. I mean, it is work, but it's also, it's passion. It's like a passion project for us. So yeah. Also, we have some cool stuff coming up. We've been featured in a magazine, which we get to see in print really soon, I think the next few weeks. But what we thought we'd do, because the feature in that is kind of like our 3 wishes.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we're going to record all of the answers, the questions and answers for you guys as well, and that'll be on our IGTV.
Yeah. and that's with Deadly Potential.
Yes.
Which you guys have probably seen the post that we tagged and everything.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's really cool. It's all about empowering women especially.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hey, you can be empowered as a man too.
Yep. Yeah, so should we get into what we want to talk about today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it. Well, we've had heaps of DMs about basically how to identify red flags, how to kind of figure out what behaviors you do and don't accept, and really kind of set those boundaries for yourself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people seem to maybe miss their red flags or miss their little triggers or warning signs even because you can't recognize that that's what it is for you. And so that we want to kind of help you figure out what those are and be able to check them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with what boundaries are.
Yeah.
And boundaries can be like your personal boundaries, and these boundaries don't have to be just relationship based. They can also be within your friendships. They can also be within your family relationships as well.
Your boundaries are really personal. They're about you. So what your boundaries are versus what my boundaries are versus what Emily's boundaries are can all be completely different because they're about your individual needs essentially. So it doesn't matter if you don't have the same one as your best friend or the same ones as us. The point is that you can recognize what yours are.
Yeah, and they're kind of like a set of guidelines that you can follow and kind of implement in how other people are allowed to treat you, and kind of also how you respond to when people treat you outside of those boundaries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. That's good.
We're warming up.
We're coming back.
But there's like a different, we were kind of discussing this before, is there's a difference between boundaries and red flags. Yeah. So red flags are more so the kind of indication that someone's kind of borderlining a boundary and is potentially about to cross it or has crossed it.
Yeah. Your red flag, your red flags, I think, are also things that you know doesn't feel right to you. Like, there's something about it that you just are like, oh, I'm not really sure how that makes me feel. Mm-hmm. Generally, when you get that kind of uneasy feeling, that's your gut. You usually know that it's right. But that's when you know, okay, there's something I don't like about this situation. And when you kind of recognize that, that's when you want to check it.
Yeah. And I guess this is what this podcast can really help you do, is once you kind of figure out what your boundaries are and really get to know yourself and what you need and want, you're never going to have that kind of cloudiness around why that person's doing something wrong and why it triggers you. You're going to really fully understand why it's a trigger for you.
Also, we should just mention, when we say check, that's kind of when you, I don't know,
put someone in their place.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Basically, to give that person the opportunity to change that or fix that behavior, whatever it might be, or not.
Yeah.
If they don't, then deuces.
In the same way you were saying how boundaries are really personal, your red flags are going to be really personal. I think specifically based on like your past interactions with people, whether that be your family, past relationships.
Yeah. 100%. They're things that, you don't always, you may not even realize that it is a trigger or a red flag for you until it happens, and then you're like, oh, I don't like that for this reason. So that's how you know. And also, I think you find, like, when you have those red flags, you know, you want to make sure that you can recognize them, because have you ever been like in that position where you've been like seeing someone or dating someone, or you've heard this from a friend, and then they're like, oh yeah, he cheated on me, blah 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 blah, and then I should have known when he went out that night and he didn't text me all night, and I wondered where he was, and on his Instagram story he was still posting shit, but I don't know what happened. And then you find out that time was your red flag. That was your one warning. You knew about it 6 months ago, but you were like, oh, I'm gonna let this slide. You didn't check him, you just let it go. And then you find out, oh, okay, well, this is what happened. Amazing. If you'd checked it that time 6 months ago, you wouldn't have an issue now.
Yeah. And I think also, don't beat yourself up for not knowing then what you do know now.
Yeah.
It's a learning process. And we even though we know what we will and won't accept, we still go back on men that we shouldn't give another chance.
We actually talked about this the other night. Like, we were just discussing text messaging certain people, and we were kind of like, oh yeah, I know I shouldn't do it,
I know he doesn't deserve a response,
I know this is right, I should just leave him on scene, but I'm gonna, and then we just look at each other and we're like, yeah, I know. You got to do what you got to do.
gotta do
like
it.
Sometimes we're only human. You're allowed to like have these mistakes, and the point is for us, even though we know that, we still know better and we still do it.
But we know we're putting ourselves.
We know exactly what we're doing at that point. Exactly. It's not like we kind of just fucking willy-nilly do this shit and then wonder, oh, I wonder why I'm so hurt right now.
Yeah.
We know.
I know I'm going to get hurt, but at least I'm self-aware about it.
Exactly. I'm self-aware. I understand the position I'm doing. But that's fine. You have to.
And sometimes you don't go back to that person. It's not even about going back to that person. Sometimes you want to talk to that person and it has nothing to do with them or how they're going to respond or where it's going to go. It's literally just about you having that conversation so you can get clarity of what this person is to you.
You need to sometimes just like, I mean, I always say this to people whenever they ask me for advice, like, should I text him, should I not, should I do this, whatever. I'm like, honestly, in your life, you should always do whatever you want to do. So if you really feel like you want to text someone, fucking text them. Like, it's important just to do it. And also sometimes you have to say something whether you get a response or not, because you have to get out your shit in order to like get the growth for yourself, regardless if they reply or not.
You don't need to ask permission for to let go, basically.
Exactly. And if they leave you on scene, well, that's, I mean, people who ghost you, that's their own fucking trauma, and they always come back.
They always come back for
the puss. They always put that puss. Put it on puss.
So I think the main thing that we really, really want to get out of this is, yes, there's boundaries and there's red flags and things that we will and won't accept, but you can't really understand those things without starting with yourself and understanding you.
Yeah, 100%.
Jay Shetty said this in this interview that I saw, and I think it's really cool because he's like a modern day monk, right? And he said that the number one thing that he gets asked is, how do I fix my relationship? What's wrong with my relationship? And what can I do to make it better? And he's like, the problem is most people have this really elaborate list of what they want in a partner, but they don't have the same elaborate list for themselves.
No, because most people like to think that they're perfect.
They're perfect.
People think that they're amazing. And like, yeah, you are, but you're not perfect.
Exactly. And you need to learn that, yes, you might only want this kind of dream guy, but you need to hold yourself to the same standard.
Yeah, 100%.
We kind of had this like analogy before.
This is a great analogy, actually. I think we did good with this one.
Think about it. Think about your dream partner like you would think about your dream job, right? So, for example, say you want to be a doctor. You can't expect to get that amazing six-figure salary, amazing job, whatever, at whatever place that you want to, without putting in the work, right? You've got to have a degree. You've got to have work experience. You have to have discipline. You know, you have to put in the work, and you also have to have all those prerequisites that you know that when you go to that job interview, you're going to nail it and you're going to get that.
Yeah. You can't be going from Macca's to, you know, I don't know, being a doctor in some fancy ass hospital.
No.
It doesn't work that way. It's like you have to work on you, especially because RuPaul says this, and I honestly think it's one of the best things that describes anyone's relationship with themselves and with other people. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell can you love somebody else? And it's so true.
And we all know this. We've all heard this like 1,000 times.
If you haven't seen RuPaul's Drag Race, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
But think about someone who constantly talks negatively about themselves.
Yeah.
Has no self-confidence, doesn't believe in themselves. Do you think you're going to be attracted to them?
No, this is like, I think that I say this to people as well quite often, and I'm sure I've said it to you too. Everything that you tell yourself, you believe, because that's your brain telling you.
It's manifesting.
What it is. Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's
negative. Yeah, so if you constantly are like, I'm so unattractive, I'm fat, I'm broke, I'm this, I'm that, well, the more you tell yourself that, the more you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
And also it's like the same thing, like if you met someone who you thought was incredible and all they ever did was talk negatively about themselves, I just feel like that just, it would be such a turn off.
Yeah.
Like, then you'd start to look at them and go, oh yeah, they're right, they do have really bad skin.
Yeah.
They do dress really funny. Why don't you know?
Mm-hmm. And also, don't think about doing this self-work in order to be ready for a guy or a girl or whoever.
Or a partner,
or a partner. You shouldn't be doing this to attract. You should be doing this just to be.
Yeah, well, exactly. The point is that you want to be the best version of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what you should always strive to be. So like every single day you want to wake up, you want to do something better than you did the day before.
Exactly.
Or you want to do something that's going to make you feel good later.
And it's not always going to be easy. You really have to put yourself in front of the mirror and point out, like, what kind of negative behaviors are you displaying?
Yeah.
And what kind of neurotic behaviors are you doing to kind of maybe excel any negative emotions, and how can you turn that around, and what behaviors can you do to kind of put yourself on the right track and be more emotionally intelligent, basically.
Yeah. In this book that we've both read, well, I'm not quite finished it yet, but I have it actually here.
We've talked about it before.
We have talked about it. The Game of Desire by Shan Boodram. We can tag it anyway somewhere.
Yeah.
But basically what she does is she herself gets you to reach out to your ex, for example, and find out things that you did in the relationship that they didn't really like, or the way that you were. And we both said that we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to reach out to my ex. I could, but I don't want to.
The synopsis of the book is she's created this kind of, like, I don't know if it's 6 steps, 7 steps guide of becoming more desirable.
Surprising secrets of dating with dominance.
There you go.
5.
So she creates this kind of plan, and what she does is almost creates a full experiment where she puts 5 women through this process that she's developed and sees how it changes them in their dating life.
Yeah.
But the part of the book that we really want to focus on is, I think it's actually also called Start With You, that chapter.
Yeah.
And she has this really cool self-workbook where you go through a series of, like, personality quizzes, I would say.
Yeah, it's like personality and kind of behavioral, I suppose. And also with this, you have to be really, really honest with yourself.
Really fucking honest with yourself.
And again, when it starts with you, it's really, really hard because nobody wants to know what their flaws are. No one wants to have to really figure out what it is they've done wrong in their past relationships in order that's pissed someone else off. Yeah. Because again, we all have that kind of mentality in a relationship, especially where you're the victim. Mm-hmm. And it's, well, I mean, not so much anymore, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's where you feel like, oh, I did nothing wrong. We broke up because of this reason. It's because of him. It was karmic. That. It's a karmic lesson, whatever. But actually, there are factors in all relationships which maybe caused him to behave that way, that because of something that you did, or vice versa. Yeah. So, I mean, checking with your ex.
That's a big one.
It's not a thing I want to do. But maybe if I don't have a bad relationship with them. Again, we've talked about my exes on here before. But I think it's more that the self-work that you guys need to do, regardless, you need to really be
honest with yourself. Like, and brutally.
It's hard. It's kind of like, you know, the same kind of honesty. Like, when we get drunk, we might eat chicken nuggets. Both got to tell the truth about that.
Or a filet of fish.
Or a filet of fish.
All right, so I mean, this workbook is quite intense, and I think if you're someone who's already quite self-aware, like, I think we're both pretty self-aware and we really understand what we want and where we need to work on. You might find that you don't need to finish the workbook, or you might find that a lot of it's a little bit tedious or repetitive.
Some of the book, I think, for us anyway, like, I've really enjoyed it because a lot of it I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. Oh, okay, I know about that.
Check.
Okay, I'm amazing. And then it came to, like, the personality quiz, the attachment styles. The attachment styles. And I was like, I'm just gonna circle that. And I was like, actually, I knew what my attachment style was kind of going to be out of it. And I was like, this is why I'm like that. Yeah. And like, yeah. No. The good thing to know is I'm not the neurotic one. Yeah. Like, I'm so happy I'm not.
Yeah. But basically, I think we've kind of selected what we think are the kind of quizzes that we think will help analyze you the most and what you need in a relationship, or are really great at helping you set your boundaries. Yeah. Or establish them.
And again, I think we just need to really make sure that we continue touching back on the fact that this is about you doing the work for you, not just for a relationship. Yeah. Like, we don't want you to just do these things and then expect, oh, well, now I've done all this, a relationship's going to fall into my lap, and that's amazing. No. Because even for us, when we do this, we've talked about this a couple of times, like, what's the point in us doing all this self-work to then end up with a guy who
doesn't do it themselves,
or doesn't understand it, or doesn't get it, and that doesn't make sense to us.
Yeah. is basically got small dick energy.
It's like we're the doctors and we're going to date the guy at Macca's.
No!
Which is also so fine if that's what you want to do. But just
be passionate about being at Macca's.
Yeah, this is us just using that analogy again. So don't go be the doctor and then date the Macca's. If you want to be the doctor, I don't know.
Be the
date the big dick energy Macca's manager, maybe.
Yeah.
Owner. CEO. Whatever.
Anyway, you get the
point.
We've touched on love languages before.
Yes.
But I think let's just go through it again real quick. And we can discuss each other's. I think ours are a little bit different, I think.
My second is your first, I think.
Yeah. But basically, love languages are the way you need to receive love in order to feel loved.
And it's genuinely also how you give love as well.
I feel like the way I show my love is different to the way I want to receive it. Like, I show my love by acts of service, but I need to receive love through words of affirmation.
Yeah. That's like...
self-awareness.
I see you.
So let's go through them really quickly again. Quality time kind of explains itself. Acts of service, doing the little things for the other person.
Yeah, that's
doing the laundry.
I was just going to say laundry.
It's because we're literally doing it right now.
Oh yeah. Emily spilt coffee all over my bed.
Let's not go there. Physical touch, words of affirmation, and receiving gifts. Both of us are really low in receiving gifts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about receiving a gift for sure, but like it's not a priority in a relationship. Like I don't need someone to come home every day and bring me a gift or whatever.
Anything that I want, I can get myself. So if you're going to buy me a gift, then it has to be sentimental or like something helpful that I wouldn't do for myself for me to make it valuable.
Also, the receiving gifts thing for us is definitely to do with our like attachment style, like, and just the woman that we are.
Yes.
Like, so
true.
that's like, for example, like, if I want to buy something, I'm going to fucking buy it.
Yeah.
I don't want someone else to buy it for me. I'm an independent woman. I've got a job. I can buy it myself.
Yeah.
If I can't afford it, then I won't buy it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really that simple. So yeah, if you're going to buy me something, it needs to be something that maybe I'm not going to buy for myself, or I don't really know if I need or I want it, but maybe you're going to surprise me with flowers.
Yeah.
Or a cake.
But also, we kind of talked about this, is that when we were growing up, not that we were super, super spoiled or anything, but our parents were like able to give us what we wanted.
Yeah.
In most senses. Like, if I wanted something for Christmas, I was able to get it.
Yeah. For me, like, it was my dad's way of like, I feel bad I always drag him through the coals on here, but like, sorry. Like, when I grew up with my dad, I'd be like, I want this, and he'd just buy it. He'd give me his credit card and he wouldn't even think about it because it meant that he didn't have to parent because I had money.
Yeah. And like, I guess I was super lucky in the sense that if I wanted anything, whether it be educational, any lessons in anything I wanted to do, I did everything as a kid. Like, I did dancing lessons, I did swimming lessons, I did guitar lessons, I had tutoring. Mm-hmm. Anything that was educational that I asked for, I got. Mm-hmm. And I guess everything that we want in a relationship is always an implication of how we were raised.
It is. It's like, children are not necessarily like, you're not influenced by things that you are told. It's by what you see. So that to us is what we saw growing up. Yeah. So that's how you just any relationship now is based upon that. And it's really weird. Like, I always think about this, like, when I have children one day, you have to be so conscious of the behaviors that you do around them. Yeah. Because that's what they pick up on. They absorb
everything.
Yeah.
But it comes back to our love languages as well. Is the reason why I value words of affirmation so much is because I never got a lot of verbal appraisal growing up from my parents. Yeah. Like, it was really hard for us to fully express to each other what we wanted, like, said or felt, because there was just a lot of pride and ego in my family. Like, yeah. And so now when someone says things to me and like is able to articulate in detail what they love about me, to me that's just so attractive and makes me feel really loved.
Yeah, that's words of affirmation is my second one. My first is physical touch, and again it's the same kind of thing. Like, when I grew up, I didn't have much affection in my family. It's not a thing. And so for me, feeling really loved is about being like touched and held and feeling safe and being looked after in a way. Yeah. So that's why I think comes down to why I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And also I think when you have really good like sexual chemistry with someone, it's nice to have them like constantly want to be around you and touch you and you know.
I think that's
so that's your love language. And then there's also apology languages, which is not as common, but it's also done by, what's his name, Gary Chapman?
Yeah, the same couple that developed the love languages quiz.
Yeah. And so your apology languages, you've got request forgiveness, genuinely repent, express and regret, accept responsibility, and make restitution.
And this is really important, I feel like, in all your relationships. You're going to have fights with everybody. You're never going to agree.
Yeah.
But this is really essential to being able to have good conflict resolution skills. And for someone to understand how they can resolve things with you as a person, an individual, really, right?
Yeah.
So do we have the same one? No,
it's different. So mine is accepting responsibility. For me, if there's something in like an argument or I don't know, you have a fight or there's like some kind of misunderstanding, to me it's really important that the person who has hurt my feelings or hurt me or whatever they've done can accept responsibility for what has happened. Because I think it comes down to like, if you can't actually say sorry and mean it to me, and you don't understand what you've done wrong, then how are you ever going to be able to fix that?
Don't say sorry for the sake of saying sorry.
Yeah, that's like my worst thing ever. Like, and also don't say sorry just to like end an argument. Like that's not what it's about either. Like you have to genuinely understand why I'm hurt and be responsible for being the person that caused that.
Yeah. Like I was telling you this before, is that my first boyfriend used to always do that, where he would always just say sorry just to shut down the argument. So he'd be like, yeah, I'm wrong. Yeah, sorry. And because of that, he didn't really understand why he was saying sorry, and because of that, he would always repeat the same behaviors. Yeah. So that's why my apology language is making restitution. So I need you to show the behavior that shows, like, well, change your behavior, basically. Yeah. Don't repeat the same behavior, and show me that you're really going to take on account why you really upset me.
What's that? It's like there's like literally like a quote or a meme or something, and it's like the best apology is change behavior. Yeah. And it's so true. Yeah. Like, or your apology has to be as loud as your disrespect was. Like, I love both of those too. But it's so true. Like, don't apologize with some half-assed bullshit thing.
There was some meme where it's like, this year I'm not taking any verbal apologies, only change behavior. That's me.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. Like, change your behavior and then it won't happen again. Like, there's nothing worse also in a relationship to be having the same fight over and over again. Like, come on.
But if you can't change your behavior, that means we're not compatible.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't continually do that.
If that's just your habits and who you are as a person and you're not willing to work on it, that's nothing to do with me.
No, not at all.
Okay, are you ready to be attacked?
I'm so attacked.
Let's go through attachment styles.
Okay. I might grab the little just definitions in here so we've got them too. Yeah.
Well, attachment styles is basically kind of your behavior in terms of, I guess, your attachment to another person.
Yeah, it's like the way you behave in your relationship. So with other people, when we do the quiz, it's like about your relationship with your mother and your father, like your close friend. I put you.
Me too.
And then when you're in a relationship, and then I think I had like brother sister as well, if you've got them. Yeah. So like, for example, my relationship attachment style is securely attached, which I'm very proud of.
Me too.
Because
my best friend and my
actually
my relationship are securely attached.
So shall I just read this?
Yeah.
So if you your attachment style is securely attached, this is the ideal way to attach to others, and the good news is roughly half of the population is securely attached. People with secure attachment freely display interest and affection toward others, but they're also comfortable being alone. They make boundaries and they stick to them. They aren't possessive, nor are they passive or dismissive. They are capable of accepting rejection and have little trouble trusting people. As a child, a securely attached person probably had attentive parents who were consistent and nurturing, but also left a healthy amount of space for them to explore, make mistakes, and learn from them. Do you know what's crazy is that when it says here that roughly half the population is securely attached, Where the fuck are they?
I want to know.
No, I want to know where they are.
Half of the population is securely attached, but they're all women.
Yeah, literally, they're actually just women, and maybe like 10% of them are men. But like, I find that really crazy. So securely attached, it's kind of, I guess, it's where you feel safe in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like you've got to constantly wonder where they are. You can trust them.
Trust is such a big part of being able to be securely attached to someone, because you're not wondering where they are. If you're constantly wondering where they are, you don't feel like they're telling you the truth, and you're questioning all their behaviors. That means you're going to be something else. So you're going to be like anxious, preoccupied, or you're going to be dismissive, avoidant.
What? Yeah, it's like if they're going to like hang out with their ex for whatever reason, you're not going to be like, oh my god, what's going on the whole time or something.
But even then, why are you hanging with your ex?
I mean, weird, but I don't know. I don't get that. Some people have got really good relationships with exes.
No,
it's fine.
Cut it.
Okay, so then my other one that I got massively was dismissive avoidant, and this was one I had really with both of my parents actually.
I had that with my dad, and only my dad. Everything was like here, and then my dad was like here.
Yeah, mine is like dad. Mine is like dad. Mother is kind of like a little bit lower, but still, because of the kind of person that she is, and it's nothing against her, but we just don't, our attachment styles are very different. Our relationship is interesting. Okay, and so another attachment style here, that this is also my other one.
Yeah, both of us have this one.
Yeah, we're the same but different in lots of ways. So this is dismissive avoidant. People who avoid attachment are super independent and often uncomfortable with too much intimacy. They're the kind of people who require a lot of space and a lot of alone time. They're also afraid of commitment, but unlike anxious people, it isn't because they fear they won't get enough love, but fear they will get more than they can manage. A dismissive avoidant person may regularly complain about feeling crowded or suffocated when people try to get close to them. They tend to be hyper-focused on individual achievement and can see romantic connections as a distraction. In childhood, people who are dismissive avoidant often had some of their needs met while the rest were neglected. For instance, the child may have gotten fed regularly but was not held enough. There is my attack! There is my attack! Or there was a lot of attention on scholastic achievement but not on emotional security.
Oh, yo!
Bye.
Hi, parents.
Mic drop. So that's us anyway. I won't read the other two examples just purely because I think it's really important that you guys do the quiz yourself if you're interested.
Yeah.
The other two styles though are anxious preoccupied and fearful avoidant.
Which kind of explain themselves.
Yeah. Fearful avoidant is like the dismissive avoidant, but with the combination of the anxious preoccupied. So I really hope that none of you are that.
Yeah.
Because that would take a lot of self-work to really come out of it, and that's fine, but you've clearly maybe got a few more traumas, I would say.
I mean, she says it in the book that two anxious, preoccupied people can work together because they both need so much security that they want to be around each other all the time, but Is that the kind of relationship you want?
I mean, if you're anxious, preoccupied, maybe it is. It's kind of like, you know how we talked in our very first episode about the three loves of your life, and when you meet the love of your life, you usually don't really, there's something different about them, or like, you know, it's not your usual kind of type. There's not that instant connection, that chemistry.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of kind of other relationships that have that really instantaneous chemistry, they're anxious, preoccupied. They're two people who just need each other so much.
They feed so much off each other's energy and desire.
It's toxic. And then, boom.
Then boom.
It all goes to shit. Not always.
He's a devil dick.
Devil dick. Maybe not even dicking, but you know.
It'd be like that.
It can be like that.
And the last one that I think is, I really like doing this quiz actually.
Yeah.
I think Shan Booty did this herself. She created this quiz herself.
Yes.
Inspired by the other ones.
Yeah.
It's your turn on triggers.
Yeah.
So it's basically like the way, it's kind of like a love language, the way you want someone to show affection towards you in order to be turned on in the bedroom.
Yeah. And it's things that they do that arouse you.
Yeah. So they are desire, which is someone obviously expressing their desire and want for you and attraction towards you.
Yeah.
Mental, so maybe you need like a really intellectual conversation before you have sex. You want someone to turn your mind on before they can turn on your body. Environmental, I think that's just like the thrill of being somewhere you shouldn't be fucking, or like
no, environmental is where like the that the bed has to be made and the room has to be set up. It's got to have a candle going. You can't have dishes in the kitchen that you've got to worry about.
It's like OCD.
It's about literally having a really nice space. Like they're not going to be fucking if your laundry's on the chair.
That's people are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like having like a candle and stuff and being clean, but like I would still fuck in a dirty room.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's coming over, my room is clean. My room's clean all the time, actually. Yeah. But I think it's not going to bother me too much if my laundry's not all put away.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. If the dishes aren't done from dinner, that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Then there's cat and mouse, which is obviously the thrill of the chase.
Yeah.
And then transactional, which means if you do this for me, I'll give you a sexual favor.
I'd probably just do that anyway.
I just do it for fun.
I'd be like, you know what?
You want your dick sucked?
Do you know what?
I got you, baby.
I'd do it. I'd do it. If it drive me to work, I'll do it at the same time.
A real one.
I have actually done that.
But both of our turn-on triggers is desire.
Followed very closely by mental.
I don't know what my second one is. Oh yeah, mine is mental as well.
Yeah.
But I think that also comes back to my love language, is that I love words of affirmation. So if in the bed you're like, oh, your fucking tits, your ass, like you're like, you're so sexy and you're grabbing me.
Well, that's why desire, physical touch for me. I'm legit. Like, yes, I know.
Like, I want you to be obsessed with me and not be able to keep your hands off me.
I just want to know, I know this, but I want to know that I'm the most amazing woman in the entire world.
I already know. I
just want you to know, and I want you to tell me that. And I want you to show me that. No, but legit, that's it. I think, and also mental, we've talked about this before, that like...
If I can talk to you, I can fuck you.
Yeah, but also if I'm in my head a lot during sex as well, like I'm need to
so in my head.
I can't fully relax.
Yeah.
And that's, can be kind of annoying. So as long as I know that you mentally stimulate me in some way.
Yeah. I love having like a yarn and then just fucking. Like,
and then also just like being able to lay there afterwards and just chat.
Yeah.
Like that's nice.
I love chatting where you're just naked.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Raw.
Yeah. You're just laying there and you're like, there's a wet patch and it's a bit like, your
and
titties are like
to the side.
Yeah. It's funny. And you're a bit sweaty and you're like,
That's vulnerability.
Good. Yeah, it's important to be vulnerable. And that also like comes down to, I think, being really confident in yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this the other day too. Like when a guy is so comfortable being naked around you, like you might have it's so sexy. It just is. Like they just cruise around and you're like, oh.
I love a guy that will just like do his chores naked, like fold his clothes naked, or like roam around the room, or like even if they do a sneaky to the bathroom naked. It's just,
I love that. That's my favorite
one.
That. You're like,
am I gonna get caught? I don't care. I'm
proud
of that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. It's fun. Mm-hmm.
I'm really horny now.
Yeah.
Next topic. Okay, so I think we kind of talked about this already, and we're really focusing on this is just to make sure that, yes, you're doing the self-work, and I know a lot of these kind of quizzes are about how you interact with other people, but it's really just so you can understand what you need from someone.
Yeah, this is how you can start to set up what your boundaries are as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time you might meet someone or you might go on a date with them or whatever, and then you may feel them and you may enjoy it, but you may also not, and you want to be able to recognize why you don't feel certain things.
Yeah.
And you also don't want to get too swept away by someone who does just really, I don't know, literally sweep you off your feet.
Yeah.
Who woos you.
Like a narcissist.
A narcissist will surely do that.
So we've obviously done this workbook, and I think we kind of, there's one certain part, what is it, like the 23 elements of a relationship or something like that?
I actually have the page in my little mind. This one?
Yeah, that one.
So this is what she calls this kind of like the science of happily ever after. So it's like a few things that she's come up with, I guess. Some of these for us are prerequisites.
No, I think it's a guy who's written this book, and it's called The Science of Happily Ever After, and he says these are the 23 elements that you need to have a relationship with someone.
Right.
And then Shan's kind of taken that a step further and said, if you put this in order from most important to least important, the top 5 will be your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
So
and this is not in any particular order either. So when we did this, I didn't even write them all down because I was kind of like, no,
Yeah.
no. Like,
And a lot of them overlapped.
yeah, they overlap. And also, like, for example, someone who's trustworthy, faithful, I think,
That's just
securely attached, emotionally stable. Those 4 things to me are all one thing.
one thing, yeah.
And also, they're 4 things that I feel like should be a prerequisite regardless. Like, you should just know, okay, well, are you emotionally stable? Are you trustworthy? I'm not going to even go on a second date with you if I don't think I can trust you.
That should be everybody's boundary. That's not just specific to one person. And when we were discussing this, is that there are prerequisite boundaries which like should just be non-negotiable for everybody,
for every relationship,
and there are and personal boundaries which are really specific to what you need as an individual for a relationship.
And we also said, like, so we came up with 5 each that we think are like the top 5. There's no particular order, but the 5 things that we need. They're the 5 boundaries. That's it. There's not going to be any what's the word, like, I don't know, you're not going to waver on any of them. We're not going to compromise on any of them.
You're not going to have a top 3.
No, there's no top 3. There's no frozen 4. It's frozen 5. There's 5 only.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You give me 4, you're getting the door.
4, no. Like, you should be at a point in your life after you've done this self-work or while you're doing your self-work to know those 5 things are never ever going to change. And that's just it. So if there's someone who's only meeting 4, that's when you can maybe decide you're going to check them and see what it is that they're not giving you in order to give you the 5th one.
Absolutely.
It's like dating someone who you know you're not going to marry, or you're not dating someone that you want to like pursue for a relationship. Like, why even fucking bother?
I think let's discuss ours. And obviously yours can be different, and you don't have to do what we've done or have the same boundaries that we have. These are just kind of to help you, give you an idea of what kind of things that you can look out for. Really.
Okay, so
ours are going to be similar.
I feel like they are. I only wrote like a few things down anyway, but one of mine is being sexually compatible.
Right there. Me too. So obviously someone who understands your turn on trigger, right?
Turn on trigger. Also, who's maybe like matches your sex drive.
I wrote that too. Sex drive, kinkiness level.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. So someone who can be with you the whole time, like. And I think also it's really important, sexually compatible as well, for you to be like, oh, I don't like it when you do this, but can you do it like that? Can you put your hands there? Can you suck my clit like this? Can you do that? Whatever. Like, you need to be able to be really that open with them. They need to be able to tell you
skills
as well, so that you can be like, okay, I won't put my finger in your ass. I don't know. I've never done it. Never done it. But you know. Just, it's a, I think
I
so.
I also like someone who pushes me out of my comfort zone, because I like to try new things, but I also don't even like think to do half the stuff. Like, I like someone who like shows me.
I like to be
things.
Dominated quite a lot. Like, definitely.
Like someone who pushes me over my edge a bit.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Yeah, I will try anything once. Okay. I also have that they speak my love language, or at least they understand it.
Mine's like,
so like, they don't have to have the same love language as me, but I think it's really important that they understand what my love language is, so they know how to
make me
cater to it. Because if it's not the same, that's fine. I mean, if it was the same, amazing. But if it's not the same, I would really like for them to be able to, know how to cater to it, so that I did feel loved.
There was my last partner that I had the exact same love languages as me. And like, even though I knew he wasn't good for me, I just like, I felt loved so much, and I loved the relationship so much because of how much he catered to what I like to be.
Was it hard though? So yours, words of affirmation and quality time. Was it hard for you though to give him words of affirmation when that's not
true,
not
absolutely
one of your strongest ones?
Because
because then you have to really think, fuck, I like to hear this, he likes to hear things, I'm gonna have to actually really work on saying it out loud to him. Rather than showing him.
Because it also was hard for me to give him words of affirmation because I knew I didn't like a lot of things about him. I just was attracted to the way he made me feel, which was the problem.
But it's okay. You recognize that now. It's done.
I recognized it while I was doing it. I just didn't give a fuck because the sex was so good.
I know. Sometimes it's just so good.
But yeah, obviously, but like I said before, I show my love in different ways. So I'm the type of girl that I'll cook for you all the time. I'll do the little things, like I'll do that little chore so that you don't have to worry about when you come home from work. I think, yeah, the way I show is different. Yeah. And physical touch is a really important one.
I think we show our love very similarly.
Yeah.
Because it's like how we interact with each other.
It really is. We're so married. It's
so cute.
I did a lot of like condensing of a lot of these little
Yeah.
So like, for example, one of mine includes like highly ambitious, independent thinker, and intelligent. Like, to me, that all comes under the same umbrella.
That's one of mine.
Like, I don't need you to be super book smart, but I need you to be articulate and be passionate about learning and self-growth. And you don't have to be super like I said, book smart, but you might be really intelligent in a topic that you're really passionate about.
I think also someone who's like intelligent in some ways, or an independent thinker, or highly ambitious, is someone who you can still like, there's nothing more than I love just to sit down and just talk shit with someone.
Yeah.
But for like hours.
I literally have this written here where I'm like, someone that I can stay up all night talking to about anything and everything.
Like, I just love being able to just talk to someone, and there's like no time limit, and you can just go on and on and on and on, and it's just,
and you have like friendly debate
easy.
Where it's like, they have an opinion, it might be different to yours, but they're articulate. I can't even speak. I said articulate poorly.
Yeah.
In a way that they can put their point across in a respectful way, but they still have the information and knowledge to back up why they have that opinion. And then I just love that. And you can meet them. We do that in our podcast. You know?
Exactly. We always do it.
We disagree at the beginning, and at the end we agree.
It's like, we've literally never had a fight, and if we ever kind of disagree about something, that's what happens. We kind of eventually come to a conclusion that we're both happy with, and then we're like, okay.
Hang on. We talked about this, is that if we ever actually had a fight, we would just sit there and cry because we're both Cancer moons.
No, seriously. Someone else said the other day, she was like, I can't imagine you guys were fighting. And I was like, no, honestly, I literally have no idea what I would do.
No, I would just cry because I wouldn't know how
I reckon that I'd just be like, I'd just go quiet. Yeah. I wouldn't say anything.
We'd just be like sitting there shook.
Sitting there really fearfully avoidant.
And then just sit there and start cooking pasta.
I made you pasta.
I love you.
So funny. What else?
I wrote, this is all again under the same umbrella: emotionally stable, takes responsibility for self, emotional intelligence. Basically someone who does all the self-work that we're doing now.
Yeah.
Because I need someone who's super level-headed and doesn't have up and down emotions or moods, because I'm an empath. So if you're going to be upset about something or be really temperamental about something and take it out on me when you get home, I cannot.
I don't like anything that's like someone who's really aggressive. Like we've talked about in the past, I've had a relationship where my partner was really abusive. Like, I don't like to feel scared or threatened by another person ever. I don't like it.
No.
So yeah, that in that kind of respect, I'm exactly the same as you. And when we say self-work, like I don't expect like this person to go and do all of these quizzes and read this book and do everything else. But I think it's really important for them to be super self-aware of themselves and being on the same journey, and like know that being, I don't know, alive and an individual, you have to work on you all the time. It's not like you read one book and then you're like, fuck, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm grown.
I'm woke.
Done.
Do you know what? Self-work? Check. It's not like that. So I think, again, we go back to the doctor and the Macca's thing. Like, you have to have something. I mean, you might be the doctor and fucking the Macca's guy because he's got devil dick. That's fine.
It happens.
That's fine.
It happens to the best of us.
One of mine I do also have here, which is really important to me especially. I don't think that you had the same one as this, but mine is that this person is compatible with my friends and my family.
Yeah.
So I don't have a huge family at all, and we don't have really big family ties, I guess. So my friends are my family. So somebody who's around my friends a lot, who can be compatible, be friends with them, who can just like be around. I don't know. It's really important for me that they're that person.
Yeah.
Because imagine if I met someone and you didn't like them, or you guys didn't get along. Like, I honestly wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
That would be so horrible.
No. But like, I think that's really important, but also like, I can't expect that you will get along with every single one of my friends, and that's fine. And the same with you. I'm probably not going to like all your friends. Like, I've had partners that I've got along with their family, but I hate some of their friends.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't expect it to be everybody, but just the people who are like especially important to me. That's massive. And also with that, I want them to then also have a really good family or friend circle vibe, whatever. I always say that I don't trust a woman who doesn't have any girlfriends, and I wouldn't trust a guy who doesn't have any really good mates.
Friends, yeah.
Like, I'm like, where are your friends at?
Yeah.
Where they at?
Where they at? Where they at?
And where they at though?
The other one of mine is someone who's got great communication skills and conflict resolution skills. So I've written like clear mind, clear heart, clear words. So someone who really knows themselves, really knows what they want. They're really comfortable with being vulnerable with you, and how they feel will be exactly what they say to you.
Yeah.
Like that, they all should be in alignment. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't want something that leaves me in the dark, and I never want to have to think about how you feel about me or what you want from me. Like, I should always know.
Yeah.
And
you should always know where you stand.
Yeah.
There's nothing actually probably worse than not knowing where you stand with someone. And in fact, in that case, you probably know exactly where you stand, which is not with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Which is not actually with them at all.
And good communication doesn't mean that you have to constantly be communicating with me.
No, don't text me all fucking day.
No, I hate that. If you're texting me all fucking day, you don't have enough lot going on in your life.
No. Genuinely not. This is another one of mine. Well, it's not really. This is just a prerequisite to me.
Yeah.
As someone who allows me to thrive, not controlling, can leave me be, give me space.
Yeah.
Like, have your own thing going on. Let me live my life too. Don't be all up in my business all the time.
Yeah. No, I like that too. Because, well, we're also, you know, we're sometimes distant avoidant, right?
Yeah.
Dismissive avoidant, right?
No,
Sorry.
that's a thing for me though. Like, I was seeing this guy a few years ago, and he didn't live in Auckland, so we kind of had like a bit of a long distance thing going on. And he was a few years older than me, and he was really cool in so many ways. Like, he was a lot of these things, except he was honestly like dad spec. Like, not zaddy, but like to the point where he was like so much like my daddy wanted to look after me all the time, and he was so in my face and constantly there.
Yeah.
That I was like, ugh, get away from me. It's too much. And when someone's just so full on, I'm like, can you relax? We've literally hung up maybe twice.
No, that's love bombing. I hate love bombing. Like,
it's like they do it because they need to control you.
this is a problem as well. Someone who has this whatever set list of what they want in a person, and they meet you and you tick maybe 2 of their boxes, and they're like so desperate for a connection and so ready for a connection that what they do is they project the rest of their list onto you before they even get to know you.
Yeah.
And that's what a narcissist does. They give you all this attention at the beginning. They're like, oh my god, you're this and everything, and like they love bomb you to death, and then all of a sudden they realize that you're not what this fantasy that you created, and then they disappear and they ghost. I bet you there's so many people that are going like, yep, I've had that before.
Also triggered, attacked. Sorry guys. So there's people sitting there like, and you don't even want to look at yourself because you're afraid of doing that self-work, and that's why also you'll take it.
Yeah.
You'll take the love bombing because you're like, cool, great.
That's a fucking red flag to me. Someone who's too into me too quickly, that's a red flag. Because I was like, that says to me that you're not holding me to your standards based on my behavior, because you haven't even seen enough of my behavior to say that I'm
it's true. And like, also, we know who we are. Yeah. But that person doesn't know you at all.
Like, do you know?
Yeah.
I know me. Do you know me?
Yeah. Literally, like, you know, I don't know. People are. It's crazy. It's too much. It's too much. Just relax. I put just big dick energy in capital letters here.
Oh, dude, I have like big dick energy. We have a whole podcast on that.
Like someone who just has big dick energy, though, for sure. Like, show me, like, what is it? We said the RSVP to a wedding. Like, give me a time, a date, a place, and a location.
If I tell you I'm hungry and you come pick me up and take me to a meal, big dick energy.
It is. Actually arranging a date as well. Like, we're going to do this. I'm going to take you here. I'm going to pick you up. This is what we're doing, and I've got a surprise for you. Cute as fuck.
The surprise is my dick.
But not on the first date.
Oh. I feel like, you know what's funny? I wrote this list of what I want in a guy before I even read this book, And now when I've reread it, it's so funny how so many of these things like fit in those little categories.
Do you know what I found quite good about doing this list for me was that I think in the past I've always kind of had someone to base this list off of.
Oh, so you're checking it against the previous lover.
So like someone who I've maybe been crushing on or whatever, texting, I don't know. But being able to write it and be like, okay, these are actually things that are not specific to a person that I need them to be.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I think that's really important for people who are single especially. And even if you're in a relationship, to still do this.
Yeah.
Because we're not saying like if your partner currently doesn't meet your 5, dump him. But also like check him. Yeah. Because this is again like, you know, he might meet 4, but you need 5.
Yeah.
Maybe you need 7 things.
Yeah.
Maybe you need 8.
There's a lot of things that you need. And I've done this list in the past, and I've actually this is like a reversion of the